So we're going to cut off all trade with Spain. We don't want anything to do with Spain. Now Spain actually said that we can't use their bases, and that's all right. We don't want to. We could use their base if we want. We could just fly in and use it. Nobody's going to tell us not to use it. By the way, I'm not happy with the UK either. That island that you read about, the lease, okay, he made it for whatever reason. He made a lease of the island. Somebody came and took it away from him, and it's taken 3-4 days for us to work out where we can land there. It would have been much more convenient landing there as opposed to flying many extra hours. So we are very surprised. This is not Winston Churchill that we're dealing with.
The US requested permission to use British bases for that specific and limited defensive purpose because they had the capabilities to do so. Yesterday evening, we took the decision to accept that new request in order to prevent Iran firing missiles across the region, killing innocent civilians, putting British lives at risk, and hitting countries that have not been involved. To be clear, the use of British bases is limited to the agreed defensive purposes. We are not joining the US and Israeli offensive strikes. The basis for our decision is the collective self-defence of long-standing friends and allies and protecting British lives. It is in accordance with international law, and we've produced a summary of our legal advice, which clearly sets this out. We will keep the decision under review.
Quote, we can confirm some breaking news. Israel just bombed the British military base in Cyprus, and the UK said, quote, we can confirm that the Shahed-like drone which targeted RAF at Kritiri on the 2nd of March was not launched from Iran. And you need to know how big a deal this is. For context, 2 days ago, an Iranian drone hit the runway at the British military base RAF at Kritiri in Cyprus. It didn't cause a load of damage, but it hit the runway. Now, at the time, we thought that was that. However, just moments ago, the UK has released a statement saying it actually wasn't an Iranian drone. But something important, they didn't say whose drone it was, and they didn't say where it actually came from. And because of that, it seems like it might have been Israel. Of course, if the UK knows that it was not an Iranian drone which hit the base, they know where the drone came from. So why didn't they say that? The drone could have come from the Houthis in Yemen. It could have come from Hezbollah in Lebanon. But they didn't say that. The UK just said, well, it wasn't an Iranian drone. And because of that, pretty much everyone is in unanimous agreement that it was likely an Israeli drone that hit the British military base as a way to try and drag the UK into the war to support Israel and fight Iran. Because obviously the UK is refusing to carry out attacks against Iran, and Israel really wants the UK support in this war. And so Israel here might have bombed the British military base with a drone as a false flag to try and drag the UK into a war for Israel against Iran. And if we don't get a clarification by the UK as to whose drone this actually was, it goes without saying it was probably Israel who bombed the UK. This is a huge deal, absolutely breaking news. So leave me a follow because I'm covering all of the Iran conflict right now, and I'm covering stuff that I am not afraid.
France just shot down an Israeli drone over Lebanon, but what happened next will shock you. Today, French peacekeeping troops working for the UN said, quote, the drone flew aggressively over one of our patrols. And you need to know, because the Israeli drone did that, the French troops thought they were going to be bombed. And so the French troops, quote, took necessary defensive countermeasures to neutralize the drone. In other words, they shot it down. And in response to these French troops doing that, Israel actually attacked the French troops without a care that this could genuinely start a war. France said, quote, a second Israeli drone then dropped a grenade close to the patrol. And it gets worse. Not only did Israel try to blow up these French troops with a grenade, but France also said, quote, shortly after that, an Israeli tank fired in the direction of the peacekeeping troops. Now, despite all of this fighting, luckily nobody was injured, but the UN called it, quote, deeply concerning. And even the French government spoke on it. They said Israel's actions were, quote, despicable, dangerous, and unacceptable. So these French peacekeeping troops in Lebanon shot down an Israeli drone that they thought was going to bomb them. And in response to that, Israel dropped a grenade on these troops, and then they got their tanks to open fire on the troops. Huge news, this could get worse.
All right. Hey, shalom, shalom. Please excuse my voice. This change of weather. It happens every year. You know what I'm saying? It just changed from colder to warm or whatever. It happens. And it's early in the morning. But whatever. It's the first and foremost giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakaha, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone, whom I learn from each and every day. Healthy shalom to the brothers out there doing the work. Oh, man. Also to the elect out there. Shalom, shalom. This is the brother Gabar Adama. Coming back at you. Probably going to have to be quick. A quick hitter. Apostle Dahar did say, start doing a bunch of quick hitters and in a way that's good. Keep pushing. Okay, so look, these tiny tops, as the title of that video reflects, and that video comes from GMS Inquire Early. All right, shalom to the brother, excellent video. And look, listen, that state of Israel over there is known for doing shit like that. And they've been doing shit like that for the longest time. Matter of fact, one of the things that they covered up, I'll try to say it easy, but 911, right? 2001, 911. Remember what happened. Everybody should know what happened in 911. The whole earth changed over that, FF. False F, right? And that's all it really was, okay? It was designed for, Babylon, a.k.a. America, to go into these so-called Middle Eastern countries. And the last country, which one was it? Anybody? Dun, dun, dun. Iran, right? So the scriptures go into it and tell you very plainly that when he's about to fill his belly, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Salakia, Yahweh Shai, our big brother, the chief cornerstone's going to come and kick ass. Straight up. Okay? And no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But that state over there, those tiny tops, those small hatters, those 1948ers, Balfour Declarationists, they are known for doing shit like that. Now, I did a video. There's a lot of brothers have done videos about this. Matter of fact, one of the latest videos I've seen about the subject matter that I'm getting ready to pull up was done by the elder in Vegas, man. All right, going into the USS Liberty, all right, where, that state, the tiny tops, all right, they basically attacked, they unequivocally attacked a U.S. research vessel. And they tried to sink the damn thing. Like, straight up. They attacked the shit out of it. Okay? This is why Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, said he had war with Amalek from generation to generation. These are the people that stir in the damn pot. These are the people, like the little mischievous children in the neighborhood that like to throw rocks at bees' nest. That's what they doing. Okay? And then they run away and knowing that somebody's near and they gonna get their ass stung, maybe stung to death. Okay? And that's what's going on, man. Please excuse me. I'm all stopped up. All right? Hey, so like the brother said in the video he just put up, here's one of the scriptures that keep coming up and keep coming up. Why? Because it's prophecy. And it's the truth. It's Jeremiah 49 and verse 20, and it reads, "Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that he have taken against Edom," all right, and the head tribe of the Edomites and them Amalekites, man, all right, and his purposes, and he have purpose against the inhabitants of Teman, that's the Germans, and against, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their inhabitants desolate with them. All right. So, hey, stay tuned. I'll be right back. All right. I'm back. So, yeah, again, the false flags, then they had that over there in the British, in Britain. It was called the King David Hotel. All right. And all that went down where they had bombed a hotel. And now they're doing the same thing, over there in the so-called Middle East, man. Really, which is just Western Asia. But that's what they're doing. They're doing the same thing. they're using their Mossad intelligence to bomb certain places. Now, of course, you know that military campaign that's being embarked upon. You know, of course, they're using their intelligence to destroy certain strategic, air bases and places, to sort of try to cripple, Iran's, campaign to do war or ability to do war. But they're also doing a lot of left-handed slick ass shit. Salakia for the language, but that's the truth. As Northern Kingdom would say, it's sick ass fool. Oh, Salakia. Oh, damn. Call hello, how about shimmy outside? I gotta break all this up. Anyhow, I gotta work today, so I'm trying to get one in, but they continue to do shit like that. And I went into briefly spoke about 9/11, 9/11 in 2001, and if you can remember, they scrubbed this off the internet real quick. It was a video called "The Dancing Israelis," man. All right, it said that they had a big fat hand in that whole situation. Too, of course they did. It all makes sense. And, hey, even with the JE files and all that, and him being a Mossad agent, hey, it's clear to see they had so much dirt and so many things on Nero 47. Of course he was gonna do their bidding for them, and all of this makes sense, man. Look, let's just go to it. You see, therefore, Salakia. Let's go for it. Let's go to it. The scripture said, "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked." You see, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. There it is, right there, and then it's the book of Psalm 64th chapter. Get one. It doesn't matter where I get it. It just doesn't matter. All right, yeah. Psalm 64 verse 2 reads, "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongues like a sword and bend their bows and shoot their arrows, even bitter words." They shoot at the perfect, right? That's right. Absolutely. I remember this, from the top of my head now. Anyhow, verse 4 reads that they shoot at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not, right? And the perfect is talking about you Israelites out there, the elect out there, right? So I read that first, didn't I? Was it? Yeah, because it says the same thing in Jeremiah, the 50th chapter, going into the least of the flock. All right, and Yahweh Shemi Shah said he's gonna have war with Amalek from generation to generation, because that's the head tribe of the Edomites, and the Edomites are the most wicked, diabolical, dirty, nasty, low down base men, just the worst of the worst scum buckets on the planet, man. Okay. Hey, now again, I gotta say this too. Sometimes we may not talk enough about these other nations that are even involved in this. Ishmael, all these devils, man. Okay, because they devils too, they demons too. All right, we're just very excited, to see the downfall of our enemy, as the scripture said, said was going to happen. Salakia, a man that have joy of his children and live to see the downfall of his enemy. This is Jeremiah 50 verse 45. Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh that he have taken against Babylon. See that? Before, what did it say? I said against Timon. Right? Hey, in a way, that's happening too. Because it said that BB, or Milikowski, that fucking devil, I can't stand that guy, man. I cannot stand him. Call hello Yahweh about Shimmy outside. Anyway, it said that he's hiding his ass out over there in Germany. All right? So, hey, is there wisdom no more in Taman? They harboring a fugitive, not even that, and a vagabond. All right? Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh that he have taken against Babylon and his purposes. That's America. All right? That he had purpose against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. How? Well, he's going to burn that bitch with fire. That great whore that sitteth upon many waters. That's actually right now, in certain regions, their military bases and strongholds, footholds are getting towed the hell up. You see that? Hey, the scripture said, I shall sit as a whore. I shall see no sorrow. Well, your ass is getting, and now Nero trying to get to the damn negotiating tables. And, hey, and you saw the video that was put up there about a brother GMS inquire early. You saw that, didn't you? Hey, all these nations, Jeremiah, we still in Jeremiah. Jeremiah, the 51st chapter. Okay. Well, I forget what verse it is. And it's Salakia. I got to sort of keep stopping it because it slows my voice down. I don't know what the hell's going on with this. This phone just does some weird shit. Yeah, here we are. You know, hey, it just pulled right up. You know, that's the spirit. That's the spirit. I just went straight to it. But Jeremiah 51 verse 7 read, Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunk of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Now pulled it right up, man. That's the spirit. Yeah, they pissed off. You saw the video. You know, they tell me, nah, you can't use this. You can't do that. You stand now with your own enchantments, right? See, now you gotta see. You look, man. Nero has totally screwed everything. He done screwed everything all up. I mean, it's to the point to where, you know, again, and you saw that where the other nations are like, nah, man, you just have to figure this one out on your own, bro. You feel me? You know, hey, we gonna sit this one out. We gonna sit on the sideline and watch what happens between this fray. All right, you know, fray is a fight. You know, all right, that's what that means. You know, we gonna sit back and we gonna see and no, you can't use. Hey, that's the equivalent of asking somebody to use their damn pistola, right? You know, hey, when they and just let me have what you got and use it for a little bit and I'll give it back to you. Nah, man. Nah, I gotta have some way to protect my own self. You see what I'm saying? That's crazy, man. You know, but again, Amalek is known for doing false flags. I said it. It just came out. Whatever. You know, for doing all and they continue to do shit like that. And believe it or not, there's a lot of different, you know, things that happen throughout the earth that was totally false, completely. All right, that was orchestrated by them damn small hatters, man. That's what's up. All right, I got to work. You know, you've seen that show. I got a second job, man. Right, I got to work all the rest of the all damn day. Lord willing, I can get into something different a little bit later on. Hopefully, this was edifying. Just to let you know and show you what's going on, man. The times, the signs, and the times that we're in. Giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakaha, Kodash, yet again. Double honors to the apostles, excuse me, and the elders, the great millstone, of whom I learn from daily. Health and shalom to the brothers out there doing the work in truth and sincerity. Every chance you get, chant this place down. Kwam Yasharallah and Wa Abai Babal. Boom! Shalom.